What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the first official HollerCast live stream. We just decided to hang out and chill for a little while this evening. Maybe talk to some of the viewers through the chat and get some feedback from y'all. So, hello and welcome. My name's Josh.
What's up? I'm Chase. Man, last time we did a live stream, boy, we did not satisfy YouTube's terms of service.
No, we did not.
So we're going to stay away from those kind of topics. Dude, we got it taken down like 4 times. That was crazy.
I know.
Craziness. What an adventure this has been, and we're already 2 episodes in.
I know, dude.
How wild is that?
I know. It's crazy. So if you're watching, say hello in the chat. We really want to interact with the audience, so let us know you're out there. Please hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But yeah, please talk to us in the chat and let us know your thoughts. So the way that this channel kind of came to be, Chase had posted on Facebook, or he made a post on Facebook saying that asking about a podcast for Mitchell County, for the area, the local area, just to bring some issues to light, and not so much just sit and complain about issues, but to solve these issues,
find solutions.
Yes. To allow the community to see people sit in real time, raw and unedited. Even though I do edit the episodes, really it's largely unedited. Just hash out these issues and these problems that the community faces in real time, and it's going to be messy. People are going to get upset, but that's life. That's the way it goes when you're dealing with such issues. And
I like the fact that we've kept it positive so far.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like the first 2 guests were pretty incredible, to be honest.
Sure.
Especially, Jimmy and his just passion for this area. And that's, when I was thinking about this in the beginning, I think my kind of thoughts were that this is probably where local media is going anyway.
Oh,
Don't you think?
I think so too.
I think that, you've seen podcasts and, things of that nature take over the national conversation. Podcasts are doing more viewers and more, watch time than your news networks now.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can't help but think that that's probably where local stuff is going. So
eventually it will. And I'm glad that we jumped on this as quick as we did. From the time that you made that Facebook post, we went a week and had a podcast going.
Yeah.
So
I think that was it. It all happened very quickly.
That was pretty cool.
Jen, we I don't know that we can mention those things actually.
What did we do to upset you two? We talked about some
we had a podcast that was on 9/11.
It was, yeah. It was on 9/11.
And so you can imagine where 9/11, the issue of the whole 9/11 thing will get you.
Yeah, we talked about just some alternative theories as to what may have happened that day. And really, without getting into too heavy conspiracy theory stuff, we just kind of said we don't really know what happened, because I don't think anybody really does. And yeah, that
YouTube did not like that.
No, they did not. I don't know why. I don't know, but and that's all I could figure, because
how do you talk about 9/11 without talking about those things?
Exactly. You had all these documentaries like Loose Change and stuff they're still on.
That's
YouTube.
what we couldn't understand, but yeah, we got in trouble. They slapped our wrists pretty good over that.
Yeah, they took the stream down, and they took it down 3 or 4 times, and I finally edited that part out, and then it was fine. It's up and still available to see today on my YouTube channel. But no, I think this area really needs a dispassionate analysis of its issues, a really good, honest, reflective look inward. And people, we need to decide what we want moving forward for this area, for our town.
I think you're right. And we've had such a warm reception from people, to be honest with you. Like, I'm out and about a lot more than you are, and everybody that I've ran into and has watched it or seen it has been very kind and supportive, which is awesome.
Very much so.
We've not had any trouble getting guests. We got some really good ones lined up.
I can't wait.
Yeah. And some, some, of course, that we're going to have to wait to come down the pipeline a little bit. But
yep.
I think that you guys are going to be surprised who we're going to be able to get. Everybody's, you reach out to people and ask them if they want to do it. It's people that are passionate about the community want to talk about it.
Yep. They do. They do. And people want to see this place thrive. That's the thing. And going back to what you said earlier about how we kept it positive, or we're keeping it positive. We have to keep it positive, because I don't want this to turn into like a stitch and bitch where we just sit around and complain about things without offering any solutions or trying to come up with solutions. Even since we talked to Jimmy the other day and we talked to Alex, like, I've been racking my brain about the things that we talked about, and it's really helping me decide to, be the change you want to see.
Exactly. Well, that was Jimmy's whole message.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason we wanted to have Mr. Henshaw on the show, is because he's such a go-getter. And I didn't even know, like, when he was talking about, the genesis of, like, Toe Jam was at the Space Festival, which he planned the Space Festival in, what did he say, like 4 months, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And then just got the idea then and kicked off the Toe Jam like 2 months later.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not the definition of putting your hand to the plow and getting something done, and I think we need more of those people in this community. I really do.
I agree.
And there are those people here that are willing to do that, and we all got to get behind them and make it happen.
We got to support them. We got to support each other. No, this podcast, this whole concept has to be positive. It can't be negative. I refuse to let it get drugged down into the toxicity that is a lot of Facebook pages and just social media in general. I'm not calling out any specific page, because we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of beating on the keyboard. And I want this, largely my goal behind all of this is to show the world that people can disagree and still be friends.
Absolutely.
They can disagree even on the most fundamental belief structures that they hold and still be friends. I mean, there's a ton you and I don't agree on. There's
Absolutely.
a ton that me and everybody don't agree on, and that's just the way it is. But
and social media feeds that kind of, it feeds that negative, it harbors that negativity, and it also gives people sort of the paper fist, for lack of a virtual fist to hide behind, and it's almost like if you're going to sling a bunch of shit around, you don't have to pay the consequences for it.
Right. Well, what it does too, social media, the algorithm, it keeps people in a bubble, an echo chamber. It keeps them in an echo chamber of their own opinions. And when that happens, you start to believe everybody thinks like you, because that's the only opinions that you are...
it's all that you're fed.
It's all that you're fed. So that's all that you think is in the world around you, and you think that's what reality is. And then when you're met with something that is contrary to that, then it can be, jarring to you, and you may reject it. Myself included, I think we all need to be a little more open to new ideas. I love that the chat is going crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, keep it up, guys.
But
I think that, and Jimmy hit on a lot of this last week, and I think that's so important for us to hear, is that if you're gonna talk a bunch of and throw around a bunch of nonsense. You need to put your money in your hands where your mouth is.
So, out of all this, from what I've gathered from the 2 episodes and racking my brain and really thinking about this area, one of the biggest problems that I think we have that we need to try and tackle first is affordable housing.
I would agree.
Affordable
I think that's
housing.
a problem all across America.
It is. It is all rural America. It really is.
Well, you know, and I mentioned that with I think it was with Jimmy. You know, talking about, you know, in my line of work as a building contractor, I see where they're largely that move, you know, during COVID was to smaller communities and smaller towns. And we've got some guests coming up. They're going to be really cool. Some people that are not, that are transplants here.
Yep.
And we wanted to hear that perspective. And we value that perspective because I want to know what it's like for somebody that's an outsider to come in. And I know that could be intimidating. Heck, it's intimidating for me to be a part of this small community. And I grew up here.
Yep.
So, you know, but a lot of people, there's quite a few people that have moved here that are transplants here that are really making a serious dent in the community and really making a name for themselves. And I think that needs to be commended, honestly.
Yep, absolutely. And Monty, Jesus Master, to your point, we have many
Shout out, Mom.
Wonderful women lined up to be on the show, already booked, ready to go. Some of the very next guests are going to be some of the some of the pivotal members in this community that are female that do some really, really important work, and we're going to talk about some really important issues.
And man, we need feminine energy in here bad, dude. It smells in here.
It does. It smells like the wax melt I just put in the burner.
That's pretty feminine.
Yeah, it really is. Feminine. It is. But it also smells like steak.
There you go. It's a nice mix. Keep it down the middle. I like it. But no, I agree. I think to have a wide range of perspectives and opinions, like we said in the intro that we did for this whole thing, I think that's what we're after. And honestly, I want to have some people that I might disagree with.
Well, that was actually exactly my next point. Was I will talk to literally anybody.
Yep.
I don't care what their perspective is. Jen, that is a great point, and we have more on that coming up.
Mm-hmm. We've got a guest lined up for that very, very topic.
Yep. But I don't remember what I was saying now. I got distracted by the chat.
Oh, no, it's all right. We can go on what she said. You know, Alex, you know, probably the most commentary I've got out of both of those episodes is where Alex was talking about doing the mining program in high school and in college, you know, at Mayland around here. I think that is something that I've got a lot of feedback with, and I'm definitely interested to explore how we can help and facilitate that. And maybe we need to have a second comment. You know, he said it had been tried before, and I definitely think that's something we need to look at doing again for sure.
Oh, I do too. And maybe we need to reach out to Dr. Boyd and talk to him. I don't know who we need to reach out to, but I mean, just ideas like that. We need to get out. We need to think outside the box, but we need to think. I mean, we need to think outside the box. We need to think of things that are going to push this community forward, bring people into this community, because I mean, we can piss and moan about, you know, transplants all we want to, and people ain't from around here, but I mean, either we're going to have to start making a lot more babies, or we're going to have to bring people in from outside.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the reality of the situation.
And going back to what you were saying, affordable housing.
Opinion. Yeah, exactly. I think there
is a starting place. There's some fundamental issues that I think we need to address.
Yep.
And, you know, we're going to have some local government figures, current and former, and maybe future, hopefully, in here that are we're going to get into that heavy, I think.
Very much
especially in the next couple weeks.
Very much so.
I think that's going to be a major topic. So, you know, one thing I've been interested in exploring, and I you know, I'm a buff for this, and I think you are too, but some of the more, let's say, eclectic or interesting things that go on here. You know, Jimmy had touched on the fact that, you know, sort of his first kind of thing that he learned about Mitchell County was, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, he said Mitchell County has the most reported UFO sightings of any county in North Carolina combined.
I think that's what he said. I'll have to go back and rewatch, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. And
I'm interested to explore things like that.
I am too, and I gotta, not that I doubt you, Jimmy, not that I doubt you at all, but I need to look that up. I need to find a source on that because that's really interesting, and I want to kind of dive a little deeper into that.
I've heard things to that effect before.
I haven't, I don't think. I mean, I've heard that there's a lot of UFO sightings here, but I don't know that I've heard that.
Things like that, fun things and stuff that we can explore that I think will really interest people. I'd love to do a deep dive on the Brown Mountain Lights.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We need to talk to Alex about that.
Yes, we need to have Alex back.
Yep.
There's a couple things I've thought about. I'd love to talk to Alex.
Alex, if you're watching, I'm going to reach out to you soon. We'll book you again because we want you back on here to talk about it.
And Alex is a treasure trove. What we covered the other day is really just
not even the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, I've watched it. Alex is a legend, man. He's got so much stuff to say and such a great educator and communicator. It's ridiculous. I'm so jealous of him. But, you know, things like that I think will keep it interesting and fun and light and, you know, maybe educate ourselves on things that we don't, a lot of people around here don't.
Well, and that's another reason I was really quick to message you and be like, dude, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I've been quite agnostic about the goings-ons of Mitchell County at large. I've kind of just been in my own little bubble, in my own little world, and I want to get more involved, but I really have to learn. I have to educate myself, and I have to be educated on how these systems work, and what we can do, not just as a town, but as a community, you know, Mitchell County as a whole, to improve things and improve everybody's lives, bring everybody up to some degree. Because I mean, like I said, largely I'm uneducated of what we can do, so I want to listen to everybody's perspective and become educated on all these different facets of life and just the people and their experiences and their perspectives. I really want to. And I want to learn a lot.
That kind of stuff just fascinates me too. I love going deep dives, especially about the place where you're from. Mm-hmm. It really, really fascinates me.
It does, because it's like, you know, you live here your whole life, and after a while it becomes just kind of, it's home, but it's like, yeah, it's Spruce Pine, it's mundane, or it's Bakersville, you know, and it becomes mundane. It becomes just, I don't know if you just kind of go through the motions or what, but
well, I want to know about history too. That's I think, you know, Jimmy touched on that as well. You know, moving forward, you know, progress, but respecting the past and honoring preserving the past.
Yeah, progress through.
And that's the reason I'm going to reach out, and I haven't yet, but I'm going to reach out to David Biddix and Matt Hallfield and see if they want to come on. And I mean, the Mitchell County has a great historical society already.
Yep.
And some of those guys, they know the deep ins and outs of the history of this county, and some of this stuff is very fascinating.
Oh, very much so.
Very fascinating.
So. And to touch on Ma T, Jesus Master, what she's saying, the arts and crafts community, we will have that represented too. So I'm part of the arts and crafts community somewhat as a musician, not so much, you know. I don't have a product or a art or a craft that I could set up at a craft fair and display, but I'm right there with you, because that's a huge part of the community. Mm-hmm. It's a huge part of us.
Absolutely. In Penland School, we're coming for you. You'll be hearing from us.
Yep.
So
that's a good idea. I hadn't considered Penland School. I always forget Penland exists. The school itself.
I've been down there a lot here in the last couple years. I did some work for them, and so I spent a lot of time down there, especially in 2020, and I guess that was mostly in 2020. But
I always forget that Penland School exists, because I mean,
and what an incredible place, world-renowned arts and crafts college is sitting right here, and a lot of people don't really even understand
crafts
what we have.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
I keep forgetting about it. I mean, I'm just as guilty, probably more so than everybody else, because I literally never think about Penland.
I know.
When I think of Penland, I think of the car wash. That's terrible. That is so bad.
When I used to think of Penland, I would think about those was that llamas? Yeah, hippies and llamas. I don't even think they even have llamas out there anymore.
No, it's
maybe a
just
couple
hippies.
alpacas or something.
I'm just playing.
Yeah,
just playing. We joke. We kid.
That was we always used to think it was haunted.
Yeah, we did.
The devil was down there or something.
Yep, Satan himself. And that's another thing I want to touch on. Not Satan.
Yeah, not Satan.
Joking. People, let's not take ourselves so seriously. Oh my gosh. Have fun. Life is way too short to get mad over jokes.
Yeah.
It is. It's way too short.
One of my favorite things.
That's just my opinion, but it flies by.
I had somebody get really mad at me. One of my favorite things to do is when somebody posts on Facebook, like, what's going in the old Roses building or whatever, and I'll make up some like crazy something. That used to be my favorite pastime on social media.
We can't do that now because we have a podcast, so we'll get labeled as misinformation.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We can't do that now. I was thinking about that. I started to do it the other day, and I was like, maybe not.
What's going in the whole Roses? I don't know.
Margaritaville.
Yeah. The South Park Mall from Charlotte's moving up here.
Right. Yep. Exactly. There was a Cracker Barrel going in the old Burger King at one point. Yeah. And somebody got really mad at me for doing that, and I apologize. I really do. But yeah, lighten up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm talking to myself too. Like, I don't know. I can't take myself seriously. I just can't. I can't get mad over, even if the joke is at my expense.
No,
I don't care.
No.
In fact, I'd rather it be that, because if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
Yeah,
Sorry, I
Hooters.
went off on a
Hooters. Shout out Hooters. Let's get a Hooters.
Let's get a Hooters. Hooters is kind of a dying brand.
I think it kind of is.
Yeah, I think Hooters is a dying brand.
Boy, I'd be interested to see who worked there locally.
That would be interesting to see, wouldn't it? I'd work there.
Oh, that'd be good. It'd be really good.
And people would give me tips to leave them alone and like just go away.
Exactly. Hey, but in all seriousness, $70 million worth of investment going on in this community.
That's insane. That's insane. And that's
not all that's private investment.
Right.
But, between the school, all the stuff that's going on with the parks. I don't know if you've been out to Ledger lately. They're breaking ground on the new school.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I got to see some of the prints and the renderings for that. It's going to be really neat.
So they're doing 2 levels, and it's going to be. Explain it, because I don't know how they're going to do it.
So I'm not exactly sure logistically how it's going to work, with the grades or whatever. But I know that I believe, if I understand correctly, Harris and Bowman are both going away, are going to be combined into that school. And I believe basically everything from 3rd grade on is going to be in that school. I think that Googe is going to turn into something akin to Greenlee, which is like a kindergarten,
primary school.
K through 12,
Gotcha.
or K through 2nd.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
So,
yeah, I'd heard today, and I think my brother told me this, that they had actually condemned parts of Harris. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if that's true or not. I know it is costing the county a fortune to run those 2 buildings because they're so old. The heat and air costs are enormous.
I'm sure. So we should turn them into a Hooters.
Exactly.
A giant
Hooters. Hooters corporate headquarters. Spruce Pine, North Carolina.
The Hooter City.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to agree with that, Chase.
Oh, no, you're not an idiot.
No, I'm just kidding. I am.
Man, that's funny.
No, I'm glad you brought up the school, because I really didn't know how they were going to work that. I kind of assumed that's what they were going to do, but I wasn't sure. I'm glad of that. I'm so glad that we are getting a new school building. And I mean, those buildings, they're historical. It's where all of us went to school.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, as cool as that is,
They're old.
they're very old, and they are in a state of disrepair.
That was, I'd be interested to see.
Matt, you're a madman.
I'd be interested to see what I've had several people. Well, what are they going to do with those buildings? I don't know what they're going to do with them.
I don't know.
What they turned the old building school into a community center, correct?
Yep, they did. I mean, there's a lot of different options that they could do with those,
Mm-hmm.
even without much renovation, because there's, you know, parts of the school that are fairly modernized that could be used for some pretty cool things.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm interested to see what's going on. We got the new YMCA is under construction down.
So what's the status on that? Because I have no clue.
They are working on it. I know they started back, I believe, at the beginning of the year, working on that. I'm not sure when the prospective opening date is. We'd have to ask Dr. Boyd. We need to get an update. I've not heard the latest from him, but man, if you've not been in the new male and cosmetology school that's there in the back of that. So basically, they took the back probably quarter of that building, what was the old hockey rink, the arena, and they put the cosmetology school in there, and I believe we're doing classrooms above it now on a second level.
Okay.
And boy, if you've not been in there, it is state of the art. I'm sure people,
That's
they wouldn't
awesome.
mind a couple people stopping by just to take a peek, because it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I've not been in, which I have no reason to go into. Maybe I should go in there and get a haircut.
Yeah, there you go.
I need a haircut.
I'm not sure if they're doing that. That's why we need to have Dr. Boyd on. Give us the lowdown on all this stuff.
Well, they don't have to be in there for me to get a haircut. I could just take my barber in there.
Yeah,
with
there you
me
go.
and just,
There you go. Just
Trent, you're just gonna.
But it's
Trent
not-
or Tim's gonna go in there with me, and cut my hair.
it's
No
not
one's
just hair. It's haircut. It's manicure, pedicure stations. There's dedicated manicure and pedicure stations.
That's awesome.
There's
because they've got the nail tech classes.
yes, I
forgot
think
about that,
there's
yeah.
massage now. If I'm not mistaken.
That's cool.
Gosh, I'm not sure what else is in there, but there's some offices down there in that space. But it is pretty incredible.
That's really cool.
Super modern, super cool looking. Probably one of the coolest insides of a building around here.
I'm
that I know
glad.
Of.
I'm so glad that stuff like that's happening.
I believe I heard that the new Big Lots is moving into the old Food Line building, I think, starting in April.
Yep.
So that's a thing.
I've heard rumors of a Tractor Supply. I don't know if that's true.
I've heard
or
those
not.
rumors for years in the old Roses building. I don't know if that's ever kind of come to fruition or not. But we shall see.
That would be cool.
Would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Rural King, man.
I know.
There's some
Yeah.
chickens in there.
Yep. I know it's a big box store, and I know the whole, slew of issues that come with bringing in a big box store, and that's, I understand, and it kills small businesses. It kills, they can't compete. I hear you. I get it. And I agree. Competition is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think people know that if you go to L&L Furniture, you're going to get a better product than at Big Lots.
100%.
So that goes without saying, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least I hope people understand that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're dealing on two different levels.
Yep. You are.
Let's hope it's more like the Big Lots in Johnson City that me and you went to,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not like the one in Marion. Because
Yeah.
that one in Marion's a little bit of a disappointment, for lack of a better word.
Owen says that her aunt has been in there and she is 90% more beautiful.
Wow.
That's an oddly specific percentage, but I like it.
90%. Oh, hey, I'll take it.
That's awesome.
I'll take it.
That's awesome. If I can go in there and become 90% more beautiful, then hey, I'll
Dude,
take
I'm
that.
going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow.
I need to go like once a week. if
Exactly.
Is it exponential? Can I get 90% more?
I do like a
beautiful
pedicure.
every time.
You like a pedicure?
Dude,
You're a man with taste.
who doesn't? Who doesn't like a pedicure?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you get a foot massage, dude. Get a foot massage.
You ever had the one with the little fishies?
No.
Oh, It's pretty good, dude. It's
I've
pretty
not.
good.
I've not had a pedicure in so long.
Yeah, I need to have one. You ever watch those videos where they cut the calluses off of people's like heels and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not into that.
Whoa.
I'm not into that. I don't like watching that stuff.
I like pimple popping videos.
Man, I
I
can't
do
do
not
it.
like. You can't do that.
No, I do not like the pimple popping
Come on,
videos.
Josh.
That's not me, man. That's not me. That's not me.
That's not
show
you.
me all the gore videos in the world before I will watch pimple popping
You're
videos.
a live leaks guy,
Dude. That's what I grew up on.
See, I can't.
Rotten.com, live leaks. Yeah. Being in the school library or in the computer lab on Rotten.com.
I can't believe we got away with some of that stuff back in the day.
I know. I can't
Holy crap.
either.
It amazes me how many teachers are still around that taught us.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
And I'm
to
glad.
me.
I'm glad.
I am too.
I'm very glad. We had some amazing teachers growing up.
Yes, we did.
Some amazing teachers.
And boy, man, the school system is way better funded and way. I don't even know how to describe how much better the funding seems like it is now than it was when we came through. Remember, we had to bring copy paper to school.
Yep, I remember that.
Do you remember
do.
that?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
Was there like a paper shortage? What was going on?
The great paper shortage of the 2000s. We lived through the great paper shortage.
Now I go out there and I look at that new football field and I look at the things that they have, the theater. Remember, we had coffee cans with lights in front of them for stage lights. Remember that?
We did. They were.
Now we actually have a theater program.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. No, you don't know how good you got it, buddy.
You really don't. We literally had coffee cans, metal coffee cans with just incandescent light bulbs in them.
Like we'd cut them in half, and that was your stage lights for your theater program. Honestly. Crazy. Noah's a little tired.
He's a little tired. He's being super.
Shout out Noah. Noah's the behind the scenes of this. Noah, by the way, dude, great job. I haven't told you that. The first 2 episodes look phenomenal, man.
They do. Here, Noah, put it on the guest camera. There you are.
I don't even put my mic's on. Okay.
Yep, put it on number 4. There's Noah. Behind
Noah.
the scenes.
This is the guy right here that makes it all happen.
This is our producer.
It's our Jamie.
This is probably going to be the most hashed episode I've been falling asleep.
Oh, well, this
You're
is
all right,
this is a very informal, just live stream. We're not. This is not an episode. This is just us hanging out, and we decided to broadcast it to the internet, basically, and talk about the show a little bit. So,
We appreciate you, man.
yes, you do a really, really good job, and people have commented on how well produced the show is.
No joke, man. No joke.
Even right now, someone's commenting, "Noah, you're a great producer." Matt, he is a great producer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt, I think you need to go get 90% more beautiful, man.
Yeah, I'll go with you, Matt. We'll both go get 90%.
Let's all go, actually.
We need to. I mean, the world should become 90% more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it
That's
should
what we're trying to do
that through positivity and action, instead of just sitting around bitching.
I agree.
That's the whole point of this. Well, I have several whole points of this, but
Yeah.
that's one of the many reasons why I wanted to jump on this and do this with you.
And we're passionate about this.
Very much so.
I am, honestly. I got the
Yep.
bug. I
Yep.
got the bug.
Me too.
I really do.
I'm all in, and
This has been so fun so far.
I've loved
Honestly,
it, man.
I love this.
I do too. It's been really fun interacting with people about the podcast, scheduling guests, talking to guests, getting to know people, getting to hear everybody's perspectives. It's really been awesome.
Well, think about how many people we've reached out to already and just talked to that, I've gotten more educated just by trying to get people on the show.
I have too.
And nobody has flat out told me no.
No.
People are ready to talk. I think it's the time. And I feel it. Like I feel it in the community. And I mentioned this probably on the last one with Jimmy. I feel the undercurrent of people wanting to talk. I think it's something that people want and people need. And I think we deserve the platform. And like I said, this is not about me and you.
No, not at all.
That is the whole point of this. This is your podcast. We want to hear from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's important, and we want to hear from all of you guys.
This is a platform for people to be heard in the community, to express their ideas, to express their concerns. This is almost a public forum, maybe a greater extension to the Let's Talk pages, where we can have in-person conversations, because in-person conversations are way more meaningful than beating on your keyboard, and they don't devolve into arguing. Very rarely do in-person conversations devolve into arguing, and I won't have that on the show anyway. This is not going to be a place where we there may be heated discussions, but this is not going to be a forum for fighting or infighting. This is going to be a forum for discussion and positivity.
Well, it's amazing what happens when you sit down with somebody and you have to look at them and argue with them.
Absolutely. You're not hiding behind a keyboard.
Yeah. You know, you won't do it. 99.9% of the time, you won't do it.
I will, because I like to argue.
Yeah.
I'm a contrarian by nature.
Well, I think you'd be surprised when you sit down with people how much you have in common.
1,000%. I totally agree with that. And that's what it takes, is finding that common ground, with people who have opposing views and meeting in the middle, coming to a resolution. Because as it sits now, the public discourse is going to accomplish nada.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to accomplish anything.
Yep.
Except
and I like what you
people
said.
not talking to each other.
I liked what you said, with Jimmy. If there's ever an issue that comes up, and especially if it's over something in local government, over we were talking about the subdivision ordinance that's been, that's been a hot topic of discussion in the community lately.
It has.
When we get to those topics,
we
will pull them up, and we will have the document, and we will read them.
Yep. Straight from the source. I do not want any kind of
speculation
or narrative. I don't want any narrative to be, I don't want to be spoon-fed a narrative about any topic. I want to go straight to the source, and I want to relay that information to the community at large so they can make an informed decision for themselves. That's super important to me, because I think all corporate media, no matter what 3 letters or 4 letters are before the logo, whether it's Team Red or Team Blue, it's all corrupt, and it's all spoon-feeding their viewers and listeners a narrative that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of that anyway. I want real information, and that's what this will do at large. If we have to talk about any local issues, it's going to come straight from the source. I'm not going to be fed any narrative. Yep. I just repeated myself a million times. Sorry.
No, you're okay. It's live.
This is what happens when you let me just go.
Well, I think it's important to have a diversity of opinion.
Yep.
I'm sure and that's the reason we wanted to bring some people on that are transplants. Is like there are opinions that you don't hear.
Yep.
That if you're never around somebody that's not from here.
Yep.
And vice versa, probably.
Yep.
If your community is a lot of people that are, not necessarily from here, maybe you'd want to hear the perspective of somebody that's been here their entire life. I think it's important to find the common ground in the middle of all those things. Find the common ground between blue and red. Find the common ground between their name something. It seems like everything is polarized these days.
To one team or the other, and there's no, and here I am in the middle by myself,
which is bullshit.
Absolutely.
That there's no middle ground.
Absolutely.
It's bullshit, because there is. There is middle ground to be had here.
There is. On every issue, literally every issue, there's middle ground to be had. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, and I'm not going to get into all that. Or I have ideas why. I don't know why, but I have ideas of why things are so polarized. But we want to bring people together. That's really the crux of this. And it's, whether it's, my idea of showing that people can disagree and still be friends, giving a voice to people who, have things to say and have ideas, getting people to think outside the box. That is all just micro steps to the greater picture, which is bringing people together in the middle.
Yeah.
Finding common ground.
I agree.
Finding common ground. Who all's out there? Oh, everyone's just bragging on Noah. He does a great job.
Noah deserves to be bragged on.
Yep.
Noah's the future of this community.
He is. He is. Oh, what's up, Ken?
Hey, what's going on, Ken? How are you?
Yep, Noah and his, I'm not want to say colleagues, because that's not the right word. His comrades.
Aye, comrade.
Absolutely talking with them. For communities to grow, there has to be common ground. There absolutely has to be. And maybe this will help in some small way.
Well, what's the weird thing is that's what everybody wants.
I know.
That's what everybody wants. The person, the person that's bitching on the page, they want to see their kind of growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did Jimmy say? What's the outcome that you seek?
Exactly.
I think people have a different vision.
I do too.
But I think the common ground there is that everybody wants to see growth and progress.
Yep.
In one way or the other.
Yep.
I think there probably are a few that rather it just be that it stay the same, but I think those people are a very small minority.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm agnostic.
See, this goes
on
back.
that
We found
front.
this. Me and you have a very different perspective.
We do
On where you think we're headed right now.
Yes. Hello, Catherine. How are you? What's up, Cat? Simple Kitty Cat.
I love everybody's names.
I do too. This is awesome.
Mom is the best. Monty Jesus Master.
Jesus Master.
That's my youngest boy. Mom, you may have to get on there and, well, I don't know. At this point, just don't change it. It's awesome. I love it. I love it.
But no, I what was I going to say? I had a good thought. And it disappeared. But you're right. People want common ground. They want to meet in the middle. And I remember what it was now. So yes, a lot of people have a different vision, and you and I think we do probably don't fundamentally disagree on the future of our community. And normally I'm like the eternal optimist. I'm a very optimistic person, but rural America does not have my optimism right now. Rural America, I don't know. There's some really big challenges that need to be overcame, and I'm not sure what the future is going to look like. I don't know.
See, I completely disagree. I think rural America is headed for its next heyday.
I hope so. I absolutely
really
hope so. I really do. There's some things that I've been pretty black-pilled about.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We're going to bring you back to the light side,
You're gonna
Josh.
white
It's
pill
all
me?
right. Yeah, I'm going to white pill you.
All right.
For sure. You're going to say, I have a feeling when you start meeting all these brilliant people, when we start talking to them, you might feel differently.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that
You're an optimist, Josh.
I am. I am an optimist. I am.
But I love the hard line though. The bit of pessimism that sneaks in there. I think I like it.
Well, and it's. I mean,
think this is why me and you make a pretty good partner.
I do too. It's and I think it's well deserved. I think that pessimism is well deserved because it's, things have not been good for rural America for a long time, and now
a lot of people struggling.
Yeah, there's a lot of people struggling, and now things are bad in the city. So, I don't know. My vision for the future for all of America is not necessarily the most positive right now, but I hope that changes. And, it has nothing to do with Team Red or Team Blue. It has nothing to do with the leadership. Really, honestly, it has more to do with society as a whole and the people that make up society,
right?
More so than the leadership of the country, I think. But I don't know what
Thank
are your
God we
thoughts?
don't have to deal with a lot of the stuff. You know, like I was thinking about that the other day. Like during COVID, like how blessed were we to not be in a place that was so locked down. I'll be
China. How blessed are we to not be in China, where they were welding doors shut.
right.
I mean, man.
Yeah, and I could give a shit what your opinion is about masks or anything else. Thank God we were in a place where, like, you know, we were largely insulated from a lot of the real,
Yep.
you know, problems that went on during that. And I think that's the reason you saw people flee these big cities is because it got crazy.
It did.
And then especially you add civil unrest on top of that with the whole George Floyd,
Yep.
you know, protests and things.
Yep.
This country was a tinderbox.
Oh, dude.
At one point in like 2021.
Well, and people had been locked up, you know, in their homes. They had been pent up in their homes for so long. It's no wonder that the summer of love happened. That's what I'll call it, the summer of love. I mean, it's really no wonder. And you're absolutely right, Simple Kitty Cat. Things aren't going good for anyone under a certain poverty level. And I totally agree with that. There is abject poverty in Mitchell County. There's abject poverty in the USA as a whole. And on the flip side of that, I will say too that being born in the lowest level of poverty in the United States, and this is the way I tend to try to look at things because it keeps me from being a pessimist. And even though I might have a pessimistic view of the future for, you know, what's going to happen to society, I still am an eternal optimist. And when I compare and contrast the abject poverty of people living in America versus people living in, say, like sub-Saharan Africa or Brazil or a developing nation, it's almost like being born in America or the Western world, you win the lottery like automatically.
Oh yeah.
I think.
What were you saying the other day? If you make over $32,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of people that live on planet Earth.
Yep, in the world.
In the world.
And yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Got to keep things in perspective. It's all about perspective.
Yep, it is.
All about perspective. And you know, on the flip side, you know, there's people living in poverty in this county. But what it was, Jimmy was talking about our neighbors feeding neighbors. Mm-hmm. Got to reach out to him. I don't know why I keep forgetting to do that.
I will.
Since Neighbors Feeding Neighbors has been in this county, we are now out of that, like food
insecurity.
Yeah, food insecurity category. Yeah. Meanwhile, McDowell County is still in that. There are people doing great work in this community. Yep. Necessary work.
Yep.
Hard work. Again, can't tell you enough. Meals on Wheels needs volunteers.
Yep.
If you want to know about the poverty in this county, go find out. It's there. Go find out.
We all need to do, and I've actually been thinking I want to free up some time where I go and do some volunteer work.
Well, I think I was, you know, honestly thinking about that the other day, using this as a platform to do some organizing, to go do some good work in the community.
Yep.
I think that's
totally
a huge opportunity that we need to tap for sure.
Yep.
And that's the reason I'd love to have him on here and some people from Meals on Wheels just to talk about what opportunities to serve there are. Because I think if we're gonna say, okay, well, you got to put your hand to the plow, we need to tell people where they can do that.
Yep.
You know.
All right, so we're getting up to close to an hour, so we're gonna wind things down just in a minute. But before we do, it is time for me to sell everybody something. We are doing advertising now. We are selling ads on our podcast. We have two different ad products. One is a spoken ad, 30 seconds. The other is a series of ads that will be displayed in the lower right or left hand side of the screen. Haven't figured out logistically which one it's going to be, whichever one looks best. But we really need to monetize this podcast so it can support itself and it can grow. The reason largely I want to, and we want to do this and we want to monetize the podcast is not so I can make money or Chase can make money or anything like that. It's so we can bring guests in who aren't from here. I would love to book some guests who aren't from here that could come and talk about these issues and give a different perspective. But we got to be able to pay their travel expenses, put them up in hotels. So there's a lot of cost that goes along with that. So if you...
We just need support.
We do.
That's what
we need support.
And again,
Absolutely.
we're not out to make...
This is not going to make us rich.
No.
By any means.
This is a local podcast.
Yeah.
But I would like to eventually start to branch out to some things, to Western North Carolina in general.
Yep.
To, we got some guests coming up. They're going to talk state politics and things like that. We'd like to reach out because what happens on the state level affects us on the local level too.
Absolutely.
And to get some of these, some people that are, of importance in North Carolina. We have some here locally that we've already reached out to. But in order to get some people on this podcast that can really tell us what's going on especially on a state level, we need to be able to do that.
Yeah. And I want to, and maybe even on a national level. But there's a lot of guests. Excuse me. There's a lot of guests that I want to reach out to, that I want to book, that I'm not able to, or we're not able to, because of logistical reasons. And I don't want to do remote podcasting. I have my own little podcast that's separate from this, where I do remote stuff, but that's all. Basically a music channel. And I really want to bring the guests here. I want to put them up in a hotel. I want to fly them in, and take care of their needs while they're here, so we can see this podcast grow, and we can give back to the community a lot more. And we can... I feel like if the podcast grows and we bring more attention to this area, then the area itself will grow.
I agree. I think it's a huge opportunity.
Yep, I do too. So please reach out to us. I will post the email in the comments or in the description. But the email you can reach us at is HollerCastIRL@gmail.com. And we can discuss advertising and the costs and all that stuff.
And we're trying to do this thing right, man.
Yeah,
we're trying to do this thing right. We've tried to be conscious about the way we set it up, make it look good, make it feel good, make it comfortable for somebody who can be in here and talk.
Absolutely.
And we've put some time and effort into that, and especially Josh, you put your money into this, and
well,
man, I thank you for the opportunity. I mean,
dude, my pleasure.
You mentioned at the beginning, when I post that, you reached out to me instantly and were like, "Hey, let's do it."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I already had the equipment, so it was like,
let's go.
Let's do it. Let's go. Angie Cole, live stream. Yes, we are going to do more live streams. Unfortunately, live streams can't be monetized until the channel itself is monetized, which needs to happen. And in order for that to happen, you have to subscribe, you have to like, you have to watch the video, share it far and wide.
You hear every YouTube video say that, but it is important. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. You have no idea how good that feels to the algorithm. The algorithm
they
feels
love
that.
It does. The algorithm feeds it, and that's why all the YouTubers say it, because in order to get monetized, you have to have so many watch hours, you have to have so many subscribers, and when we get to that point, when we reach the monetization, we're going to do something really, really, really awesome and special. That will be revealed closer to when that happens, but we've got some awesome ideas on what we can do there. But yeah, we'll do something really cool. Hello, Angie. Thanks for joining us.
Man, thanks to everybody for joining us. I really appreciate it. For the first live stream we've done, this has been really good.
Yep.
And please go and comment. And anytime we do a live stream, let us know who you want to talk to. Because people have had ideas, and they're like, you should get this person. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. That's never even crossed my mind.
Yep.
And trust me, we've racked our mind.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
Yep.
We
have. And if you want to come on the show...
Hey, Jerry.
What's up, Jerry? If you want to come on the show, reach out to us. I mean, please reach out. You can find me on Facebook, Joshua McKinney, or find Chase, or email us at HollerCastIRL@gmail.com. Reach out to us. If you want to come on the show and talk about things, we'll make it happen. We want to talk to everybody. We want to give everybody a voice, because that's what it's going to take to to bring this community together and to move it forward.
And we're going to attempt to start doing at least 2 streams a week.
Well, maybe 1 stream and 1 episode or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 1 live stream and 1 episode, or 2 episodes if we can make it happen.
Yeah.
But I like these kind of live streams. It gives people a
I do too.
hello, darling.
Hello, Laura. Thank you. We're so glad you like it.
That's my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's hot and beautiful.
You better like it then. Chase will.
I love
Chase will
her.
be like, oh, I know. You're not going to do anything. You're going to be like, yes, dear.
Thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Jimmy is I've got so much good feedback about Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy's the man.
What an awesome guy.
Well, he's a really good friend too, and but more so than that, he's just an awesome person. He is really, really a great person who wants the best for this area. I mean, that's all it boils down to. He wants the best for this area.
Yeah.
Because he has a vested interest in it, just like the rest of us do. I mean, we live here.
We all have a vested interest.
Absolutely.
In it.
If you live here, you have a vested interest in this place growing. And I hate using the word progressing or progress because people associate that with
progressive politics.
Yeah, and that's not
that
what
doesn't
I
have
mean.
anything to do with that.
No, it doesn't. And I don't care if you're progressive. Like, I could care less what your politics are. But this community needs to grow and thrive, and that's what we want to make.
Well, it
happen.
seems to me the best, the most, growth and stuff that I've seen is when people come together despite their political. I mean, and local politics, to be quite honest with you, are not the place for that necessarily, in my opinion.
No.
Largely, we're unaffected by those things that we're all divided by.
Oh, 1,000%.
On a national level, you got 2 very diametrically opposed sides. When it boils down to a local sense, those things really kind of largely melt away at that point.
They do.
What we're here for is to see the place that we love, the place that we've invested our family, our time, our money, the place where we have our job, to grow and thrive and to be the best that it can be. And that's what we want.
So before we sign off, let me ask you this. What is your, like, how can I phrase this? This is a simple question, but never been good with words. That's why I find myself in such a delicate conundrum.
Keep talking, Dad. You're good. You'll figure it out. That's what I do. I just keep blabbering on until I figure it.
If you could have one goal for everybody in Mitchell County right now, what would it be?
Well, I've always said that my goal for everybody that I know is I hope everybody is happy and I hope everybody has $1 million.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
It's pretty easy.
That is.
It's pretty easy.
Because what I was literally getting ready to say was I hope everybody can become happier and make more money.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want for the community at large. I want everybody to be happier and make more money.
And I think I think what kind of adding to that, I think I want people to be proud of our community.
Sure. Yeah, because for the longest time, I don't feel like we really were.
It was hard to be proud of this community when we were young, especially.
And we were young. We didn't know what we had and what we were doing.
Yes, that's true.
We were young and stupid. But I agree. I want everybody to be proud of this.
There's been a lot of, I think it's important to acknowledge the growth and stuff that we have had. This town is not the same as it used to be.
No, it's not. It's not. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your love and support. We love you all. We hope you will come back and join us for the next one. And hello, Bethany. Hello, Matthew. Yes, be excellent to each other. I totally agree with that. That is a great...
Be nice to somebody.
Yeah.
Be nice to somebody.
Please reach out for advertising, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It really, really helps with the channel. Hit the notification bell if you are subscribed. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we go live, when we upload videos, all that stuff. All that helps with the algorithm. The more you do that, the more you share this stuff and send it to people, the more views we get, the more hours we get, the closer we are to getting monetized, and then we can bring in some really crazy cool, not that we don't have crazy cool guests, but guests that are on maybe a national level when it comes to notoriety and
God, I'm excited.
Yeah.
God, I'm excited.
Anyway, thank you all so much.
Thank you guys for all your support. We really appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. Love each other. Be nice to somebody tomorrow.
Love you all.